Welcome back. Just wanted to wish everyone a happy Easter, prosperous Easter for them and their families. It's a good time to spend with your family and loved ones. I personally celebrate Easter. My culture, my name's TASS, it actually means resurrection in Greek. So when Christ got resurrected, so we celebrate my name on Name's Day on this Easter. So it's a very special day for me. Lately I've been thinking about the three types of customers that I service, and I've been thinking about what's important to them. The first type of customer is a local person who's living in Melbourne who also wants to buy real estate in Melbourne. The second type is an international buyer, an interstate buyer who's living interstate and wanting to buy in Melbourne for whatever reason. And the third type is an expat, or someone living overseas, born here or born overseas, and also wanting to buy in Melbourne. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And in the last week, I've bought properties with all three types. So I'll give you an example. Example 1, a local buyer had a non-for-profit organisation based out of, with their head office based out of Mulgrave, and their head office didn't really suit their business moving forward, and we found them something in Notting Hill that does meet their future needs, and they required intel in not only being able to source the right property, but making sure that the property was purchased at or below market, and also making sure that the negotiations went fluently. It took us about 2.5 months to both find and negotiate a successful purchase, and sometimes with these commercial properties it's quite complex, and it does take a little bit of time, but the feedback I received from my customers was we would have paid a different price if not for our services. So that just tells you how a lot of buyers look at the world. They probably find the whole process frustrating and want to speed it up, but obviously these things take time, and it's a lot better just doing nothing and taking time to make the right purchase. The other customer, recently I bought a property in the northern suburbs for a Canberra-based couple, a professional couple in the medical industry, and they were pretty smart. They wanted to take advantage of the cyclical low in the Melbourne marketplace, and one of the briefs was they wanted to buy in a key growth area, which we did in the northern suburbs near the freeway extension between Watsonia and Wollene, and they wanted to take advantage of growth opportunities. Also, they wanted a reasonable yield, and also they wanted to benefit from maybe some upside in the future in terms of either subdividing or developing the land. And the third type of client is a customer that I currently have who lives in Singapore and looking to buy in Melbourne, looking to buy something that he could potentially move in one day, but something that will provide him a good rental stream and some tax benefits moving forward. So these are the three different types of buyers that they call property buyer and that we service regularly. It also begs the question, what's everyone else doing that's not using a buyer's advocate? What are they doing? How are they managing the process of sourcing and finding real estate? And the question I think everyone needs to ask, it's now 2025, so the question is, in 2035, will I be able to look back and say I bought a property 10 years ago and I really made the right purchase for me and my family? Thank you. All right. If I was a local customer or interstate or an expat, the question I'd be asking, who do I call? I remember the commercial Marshall batteries. Who do I call? Call a Marshall. This is a an asset which is quite expensive and typically represents probably the largest investment that people will make in their lifetime, whether it be their home or an investment property of some sort. And I just find it amazing that although this will change in the future, I'm sure, and I've talked about this in my videos previously around S-curves. I just find it amazing that, and I don't know what the exact percentage is, but it's no different to the broker space 20, 30 years ago. I just find it amazing that people will actually think about buying real estate, whether it be locally, interstate or internationally, without an advocate. Which then begs the question for me anyway, how do these potential customers, both here in Australia and overseas, how are they currently buying real estate? What are the processes and methods that they're using if they're not using an advocate? So my guess is if they don't have an advocate, what they're probably doing is doing a lot of this stuff themselves. Whether they like being a keyboard warrior, looking at realestate.com and domain and or commercial realestate.com, etc. Surfing the web and looking for properties themselves. Certainly I would feel that space is a fairly lonely space if I was doing it myself and I didn't have specialised knowledge in that area, in that asset class, or in the locality. So it's just interesting to know how this whole real estate market is functioning from the buyer side. I find that quite fascinating. So the selling side's quite mature. The owners in particular are well serviced by a myriad of selling agents who have specialised in being able to market and sell properties, and there's certainly a lot of capable agencies in the Australian marketplace. Of course, being Easter, my expat client came down to Melbourne to visit his family, and it was a really good time, an opportune time yesterday to spend with him to look at 9 different properties in consecutive order in the inner city of Melbourne, which is where we're looking at. And it was a really good time for me to meet and get to know him to get to know me, and to learn about some of the intricacies of the Melbourne market more broadly, but also specifically around what his property needs are, his likes and dislikes. And this is the best part of my job. I really enjoy it.